Welcome to the BBB Sharing podcast. My name is Paris Lape. I'm here today with Sam Wilson, the owner of 1-800-UNLOCKS. He's had this business since 2014. Thank you so much for being here, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
So 1-800-UNLOCKS, you came to purchase this business nearly 10 years ago, 9 years ago. How'd you come about into locksmithing and this national brand?
Sure. So my family, my father actually started a locksmith business back in 1980. So this is an industry that's very near and dear to my heart. It's something I always grew up around. And 1-800-UNLOCKS was actually a business that he had invested in. It was actually created by a former employee. And, every business has its ups and downs. But long story short, I ended up taking ownership of it in 2014, and basically it's just kind of an off branch of the locksmith, a local locksmith shop, but it's meant for national coverage to help customers not get scammed.
Right. So it's a big directory. You can type in your area and find a locksmith that you can trust near you.
Exactly. Our goal is to be a safe place for locksmiths to be listed, as well as for customers to find that local locksmith, shop confidently, and totally eliminate the fears of being scammed.
That's really cool. You don't want to be stuck outside of your house in the freezing cold and call a locksmith and be ripped off, or have a fraudulent number and someone comes by and doesn't help you, but they know where you live now. It could be really scary if you think about it, someone who has that ability. So how do you find these locksmiths in the area, and how do you vet them?
Sure, great question. And that's really the key to helping us help the end user. Again, growing up in the locksmith industry, I see what it takes to become a locksmith, several years of training. That level of expertise is really not something that you can just kind of start from day one. So a lot of what we do is we look at licensing, we look at insurance, but we also have real-world conversations with the locksmiths to understand everything from what are their capabilities, what's their pricing like, and that helps us to feel a lot more comfortable listing them. At some point, you have to take that leap of faith and give them the opportunity to prove themselves. And that's why the platform also has, the ability for customers to leave reviews on each individual locksmith listing. And so it is a free directory for locksmiths. That helps us, not feel beholden to a paying customer. For instance, like in terms of if the locksmith was paying us to be listed, if they got a bad review, we can just remove them without feeling like we're actually losing revenue. So they understand and they agree to really a 9-point professional guarantee that they are, not going to bait and switch, that they're following their local laws and guidelines as well. Because a lot of customers may not realize, but only about 15 states across the country require locksmiths to have a license.
Oh, wow.
So our directory is really built by locksmiths for locksmiths. And so it's actually a relatively small knit community. And they like being part of our network because we're just very, very particular. We say no a lot more than we say yes.
Well, that's kind of good to hear that you're not just, you're doing your due diligence and you're actually vetting these people. What do you look at, like their current reviews before you take them on, or?
We do a lot of precursor research. Yes. So we're looking at their website. We're looking at their social media. We look at their reviews. We look to see, does it look AI generated? Does it look like stock photos? Do these reviews, for instance, on Google, do they look fake or purchased? Any of those red flags, we're just going to err on the side of caution. To take it a step further, 1-800-UNLOCKS helps clients, like commercial clients that have national footprints. For instance, if there was a retail restaurant that had stores all over the country, they want to get locksmith services. So we have an agreement with them. And so what we'll do is we'll subcontract locksmiths that we know and we trust, and that way we can actually also get that firsthand experience. Like, okay, they have proved themselves. They charge fair pricing. They know what they're doing. They're not making up phony reasons to drill a lock, replace a lock. When if you're a true locksmith, you're gonna actually try and fix the problem. You're not just gonna slap on something new.
Right. And you've mentioned that your history is kind of with locksmithing. So go into your education a little bit and how you grew up to have this expertise.
Sure. So, here locally in Richmond, my family, Barry Wilson, owns American Lock and Key. So we've got a storefront, we've got several road technicians. So this is something I grew up around. As time went on, my dad actually said he didn't want the 24-hour life for me. So I went to college, came back, and ultimately just really wanted to help out. I love entrepreneurship, so I really wanted to help out the family business. Started helping out with the marketing, and then that eventually led me to working with more locksmiths. But taking a step back, I eventually wanted to also become a licensed locksmith. So there are classes, courses, and regulations that you need to follow with the Department of Criminal Justice to attain the license. Unfortunately, that doesn't prevent scamming. Growing up, our family does everything from automotive work, where if customer is locked out or they need car keys, residential work for lock rekeying or smart locks. We also do commercial locksmithing, safes, and access control. So we're a little bit of a unique shop. Not every company is going to be able to service, any of those, all of those verticals. And so, I saw that there's kind of this gap in the marketplace where it is helpful to have a national platform that our goal is not to enroll every legitimate locksmith. We want to have, a few really good providers in a given area that can kind of cover as many of those verticals, as many hours of the day as possible, so that no matter, what you need, where you need it, what time of day, 1-800-UNLOCKS is that resource for you.
So you're not only in the family business, but you're also a business owner. I'm guessing you went to school and studied business.
Correct.
So that's a lot of really useful skills to know. Do you have employees that you manage right now?
Yes, we do. So we have 6 employees, and some of them are dedicated to helping our national clients that need locksmith service. And some of us are also dedicated to actually doing marketing specifically for locksmiths. So we help locksmiths. We have a DBA called the Locksmith Agency. And so with that side of our business, we do digital marketing. We build websites. We do search engine optimization. We help with Google Maps reinstatement. There's just tons of issues in the locksmith trade where even today, there's fake reviews being thrown up at locksmiths on Google. They're getting suspended off of Google. And it's just because there's so many scammers. And so it's really difficult to kind of regulate and keep end users safe from getting those scams. So yeah, I went to school for business management, minor in economics, and I just thought, hey, I want to help out, American Lock and Key locally, but I also want to help other family-owned locksmiths nationally. And they, my thought is that they love working with somebody that really understands their trade, the associations, the licensing, their products, their services. So a lot of the team ends up helping out with that.
So when you came into buying 1-800-UNLOCKS, how new was the name?
Well, that's a great question. The name was actually, the company was originally founded back in 1995, and it was meant to kind of be a franchise without all the franchise fees. So a locksmith would sign up, they would get an exclusive territory, and anytime someone calls that toll-free number, the phone system essentially asks for your zip code, And from there, the call automatically routes to that local locksmith that has been researched and verified. So that's one way customers can get in touch with their local locksmith. So yeah, it's been around for a while. I think that, with the advent of toll-free numbers used to be the latest craze, and now obviously, websites and social media is where the eyeballs are.
Mm-hmm. So having gone from being like a franchise style to now just like a national directory, how have you seen the relationship with your clientele changing?
Right. So, generally speaking, I have never really been one for doing paid ads. And there's a lot of different business models out there. A lot of them tend to, how the locksmith scams kind of come to be is that people will look online for a locksmith. They'll see a really enticing low cost, to come out. And usually those calls get routed to a call center, and it'll say something like $29 to come out. And the locksmith will tell you how much it is when they get there. And what happens is these call centers, they call their contractor and they say, hey, you can have this, but we get 50%. So let's say the service call should be $200 just for a round number. Well, that technician, to earn a living, he needs that $200. Well, since he has to give 50% away to this call center that's kind of, blasting the internet with ads, he ends up now having to charge that customer twice as much so he can still take home, what he needs to earn a living. And so that's how customers are really and that's best case scenario. I actually brought some sample receipts that are on Reddit. They're publicly available. Customers just saying, hey, was I scammed? And so the call out fee is usually low, but then they will just make up a laundry list of reasons to increase the price. And it really baffles me day in and day out to see, and it's upsetting. I mean, I understand locksmiths are not something that people need regularly, but calling the wrong company, this ticket is $5,390.
Wow. I mean, I'm looking at all this and they have so many different notes on here, like fixing stuff. Like I'm sure maybe they broke something and they repaired it, but a door adjustment of $850, fix hinges door $375. I mean, that's kind of above what you could pay a contractor to do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could buy all new doors, all new locks.
Yeah. Wow. So
they really just prey on the fact that it's an emergency situation, that, customers may not know how much it should cost. And once they're out there, it's just really intimidating. And a lot of people are not going to be that confrontational. As you said at the top, they know where you are, and it works for them, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I'd love to go into a little bit more about the specifics. When someone finds a locksmith on your website, they go to their, the locksmith's website specifically, or they call them through your company. What happens if something does go wrong? You mentioned you removed their listing. Is there any other back end stuff that you would do for that customer if they were to complain?
Yeah, so we reach out to the locksmith. If there's an issue, we want to discuss it with them and find out, both sides of that story. And we will typically encourage the customer to say, hey, if you paid by credit card and you just feel like you were totally scammed, yeah, on one side, we'll take them out of the directory. And on the other side, I would encourage a chargeback. I mean, try and get your money back and let the bank fight it. I mean, I hate to do that, but it's very important for us and our reputation as a safe place for customers that I would rather have that customer try and get their money back. And if needed, if we need to escalate it further, try and hook them up with somebody else that we know and we trust to get the job done right.
That's great. Yeah, I'd love to go into the back end of your business a little bit. So before it was a franchise style where maybe people would pay you to have their service area, but now it's a free directory that people can go to. Where do you get your funding to be able to offer that?
Sure. So as I said, the locksmith agency, the other side of the business is really the main revenue driver, along with the subcontracting jobs. So that allows us to give locksmiths and customers a free place to, interact online. So we do earn the bulk of our revenue from doing digital marketing services. We help those locksmiths locally. We only work with one in a given market. We really can't double dip and kind of, have two companies jockeying for the same keyword position. I just don't feel like that's the right thing to do. So, I really just try and run the business as honestly and with the right moral compass. Down the road, I could see us having to charge some sort of a fee, but again, arguing over but it would be a low fee and it would be affordable to where the locksmith in their normal course of, marketing their business and business operations, there's going to be some overhead to generate, that client for them. But as of right now, for the past 15 years, I have not been monetizing and charging for all of those leads. It's kind of me giving back to the industry a little bit and really just trying to help customers.
Yeah, I mean, you said this was there's a close-knit community of locksmiths. So it's kind of like a partnership that you have with them. Like you do your thing right and I'll help you out in this way.
Yeah, we're kind of paying them, by encouraging them. We're not making them pay, so it's kind of like paying them.
Mm-hmm. And are you available in all 50 states or?
Technically, we are. We currently have coverage, I would say, in roughly 40 states. And so we're always looking to, build that network and really strengthen our coverage. And so that's really what our focus is going to be this year.
So you are in 40 states, and if a locksmith wants to reach out to you and get their state on the directory, they would just reach out to you at 1-800-UNLOCKS?
Correct. Yeah, they'd visit 1-800-UNLOCKS. Down at the bottom of the website in the footer is a place where, a sign-up form. It's kind of a gatekeeping form. It's a first step for us to get to know them if we haven't, worked with them in the past or just don't know them. And then from there, we start our due diligence and really research them as thoroughly as possible. And then we build their listing, we hook them into the phone system, and, they're off to the races.
Yeah, it sounds like there are a lot of perks. I mean, they could put on their own branding. We're 1-800-UNLOCKS certified. Kind of like how we have accredited businesses. It seems like a really great way to be able to go, I can trust these people. Because I use a different kind of service for finding an auto shop. It's kind of similar. You don't want to go to an auto shop and have them charge you thousands of dollars for something you could easily do at home. But you can, use that directory to find someone that you can trust and that has been vetted by someone who is experienced and also is active in the business and the industry.
That's exactly. And I think that's kind of what separates us from the other big data aggregators and directories that really focus on every vertical. We are solely focused on locksmiths and helping customers just, again, not get scammed.
Have you had any big wins in 2025?
Well, what do you mean?
Is there anything that you look back on and you're like, man, I'm really glad we did this, or this was really exciting?
Well, we are developing, more of our back-end technology stack to be able to handle more leads that are coming through the system and kind of simplify the onboarding process for the locksmith. So it's not quite finished yet, but it's nearly there. And so I consider that a win. Aside from that, we were able to build a lot of new client websites. So, 2025 was a great year. Fortunately, knock on wood, we've been able to grow consistently every single year since I started the company. And there's still so much more work to be done. I'm really, really excited.
That's awesome. Is there any other way to reach you? 1-800-LOCKS, they can call that number or go to your website?
Yeah, so they can call 1-800-UNLOCKS, which is 800-865-6257. You can hit option 3 to kind of talk with corporate office. Otherwise, if visiting the website, you can email info@1800unlocks.com or submit a contact form. On the website, there's every single page has a way for customers to reach out to us if they need service. And they could do it by phone or by the contact form, and we'll get their information and hook them up with a local locksmith that'll get the job done right at a fair price.
And of course, we'll put all of those links in the description below where you can contact 1-800-UNLOCKS. Check them out. Also, check out other podcasts that we've put out, and wherever you get your podcasts, check us out on YouTube. We've got some videos up there. And thank you so much for coming in, Sam.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for listening.